and, as usual, not really completely understanding what was happening around them, but not being any the worse for that. And I think myself that one of the greatest tragedies of today is that many of the official historians of the world look with contempt upon myth and legend, not realizing that where there is no history, myth and legend are the only sources of information on which we have to draw, and we neglect to use them at our peril.
Having followed the sun on his way from east to west, over North Africa and the Atlantic Ocean, Princess Roosevelt has led us to the region of fire where once Atlantis sank. The sunken continent underfoot, we stop here now.
Could you tell me something about the sinking of Atlantis?
Well, the sinking of Atlantis I would bring together with the notion of the underworld. Nearly all civilizations have a notion of the underworld. Out of the depths have I cried to thee, Lord, Lord, hear my voice. What does that mean? It means an underworld. It means a sunken world. Well, how did this notion enter the human mind? It entered it, according to my idea, if I may say so, through a sinking of an enormous part of the world with the men, the women, the children, and its whole life. And thereupon, then on, the underworld began to be peopled with myths. It was peopled by the souls, by the bodies of the dead who had gone down in this great sinking, like an enormous grave. Now, you find remembrances of it everywhere. You find them in the terrible night when the Atlantis went down and when the ocean closed over the Atlantis. You find allusions to it in all sorts of religious texts. The volcanoes, the seismicity of the mid-Atlantic ridge, which has now been found out technically, well, is already mentioned in many ancient religious books, among them the Book of Enoch, and among them you have quotations like this: "A fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn into the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains." What is that? It's a precise description of Atlantis. That's in the Deuteronomy 32:22. Well, you have in the Egyptian text, "O city which is in the abyss, which covers the bodies, no one can come out, and no one can penetrate because of the great fear, and the dead who are down have been exterminated." All the legends have this, as well as the religions. The soul of Christ, after his death, descended into hell. There is an Apocalypse of Andrew and Paul, which says that Paul went into the abyss and saw the empty doors of the dwellings of the souls that had been liberated by Christ. The Quran has many allusions to it. It says when God became angry while he kindled the great fire which roared in the depths.
Is it possible that they refer to the underworld because they buried the dead in the earth?
Well, surely not, because there is no underworld, there is no issue to that. It's just you put a body in a little bit of earth near the surface. That has nothing to do with these great depths. Out of the depths have I cried to thee. Those are depths. That's not a little grave on a hill.
So water and the bottom of the ocean is always connected with death.
Is connected with death, is connected with collective death, with sunken cities. It's connected with a sunken land.
It's a domain of the dead.
It became the empire of the dead. And it became the empire of the dead because the empire was founded when Atlantis went down. That is the foundation of the submarine empire of the dead. The Sheol, hell, the hell of fire, the hell of the craters of the volcano in which Horus precipitated Set. All these traditions point to the same thing, an immense tragedy which was cosmic and which entered the divine sphere. It was probably the deluge, because the deluge, which was this primeval drama, was remembered by humanity. It was when humanity's memory was already formed. And the deluge is probably contemporary with Atlantis.
It's time we heard about the occult Atlantis. Mr. James Sturziker.
In the occult teachings, as put out by Madame Blavatsky in her Secret Doctrine, there have been many waves of humanity that have trod this planet of ours. These have been divided up in what to occultists are called root races. The first two root races were of